And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Monday. Barnes, Tony, Danny, once again. What's going on? Give me something, Tony. I know this is. Let me tell you what you're gonna say, because I know you're gonna go, yeah, I'm all right. That's how it's gonna start. Am I wrong or no?
I guess to some extent, sure,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, it's going all right. It's Monday, whatever. But it is a big week, dude. Obviously, Beach Bash, like this weekend,
Right.
leading up to,
You're pumped.
Obviously, yeah, more than pumped, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great if the Mets went on a little win streak between now and then. Like that would be sick, dude. Like that would make me feel a bit better, knowing some of the people I'm going to see. But whatever, man. You can't have it all. Sometimes I'm stoked for the shows. I'm stoked for the vlogging. I'm stoked to be home. The rents, dude.
The meatloaf.
The
pool.
meatloaf, the pool, dude. Oh my god. Honestly, I am like so stoked for meatloaf. Stoked for Sunday dinner too. It's the food's obviously gonna be huge, dude. But obviously the camaraderie, the people involved, like it's a lot to look forward to. That's what I'm looking at this week. That's what we're leading up to, dude. It may be a long week to get there, but we're gonna get there. It's what's most important.
Now, does it make it any better that we have that to look forward to, given what's going on with the Mets, or two separate things?
I'm gonna try to separate the things because it almost makes it worse.
Okay.
Honestly, dude.
Got you. And it's crazy too. I guess there's some statistics to prove it, but it's kind of like the curse of the tailgate. Supposedly, this has happened like several times.
Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying? Who's saying that, dude?
I saw it on Twitter, so I forgot. Maybe one of the hosts was saying this, that. The
like
third.
ESP, like Rick and Dave,
No, I don't remember who, but it was just. I think
Okay.
it was somebody from ESPN Radio. But I guess
I feel like I
it is
remember
documented.
maybe last year them talking about this. Because I feel like it happened the same deal. Somebody drinks something, tailgate. They didn't want Dave at the games anymore or something like that.
A fan, you're saying?
No, like Rick and Dave were talking about this on the show.
Well, who didn't want them at the games anymore?
Rick was
Oh.
saying how like Dave, you shouldn't go to the games anymore. You're jinxing it or whatever, dude. Because whatever Dave said while they were going on a run or whatever, they go to the game, the tailgate, and then they went on some losing streak. So I think you are correct in that sense. But hey, man, I mean, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, they can snap out of it.
If you had to say, I know this is a very tough question. Who do you think's in a better spot right now? The Mets, their fans, or Tommy Fleetwood?
Oof. Probably Fleetwood, I guess, dude.
Really?
I would have to say Fleetwood. I mean, I think the Mets fans, there's some still good to be looking at, I guess. Only a game behind the Phillies now at this point, which I know that sucks to say, but it is, it's only a game. And plus, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Fleetwood, it's all on him sort of deal, Like, it's not my fault the Mets are losing. It's Fleetwood's fault, though, that he lost, which is a shame.
Well, and the best part is, he still got like a couple $1 million for finishing second.
You think he feels good about that, though? Like,
I mean, anybody else would feel good about it.
I would
don't
feel
know.
great about that, dude.
Yeah.
What was the purse for the Travelers? Was it $20 million?
Yeah. And let's see. So, yeah, he gets the winner got 3.6, so he gets 1.7. So he lost 1.9, but 1.76 is 1.76, no?
I mean, that's still a great payday, dude.
Yeah.
Now, do you pay state Connecticut tax on that because you play in Connecticut?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
That's tough right there. See,
Well,
that's
better
like,
than being in California,
No, that's true. That's true. That is true, dude.
So yeah, I mean, obviously a lot to get into there, but I guess we could start with the comments there. A couple of the OGs in the building.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course, dude. We have John Pollock starting us off today on this Monday. Classic, dude. Sportsport. Best place to be in the morning.
Johnny
That's right,
boy.
baby. He knows the deal. And then Josh B, speaking of knowing the deal, he says, yo, fam, what is good? Pollock, what's up? He says. And then Ernie says, the fish boy here. And then he says, the beep beep. Do you know why he refers to Josh as beep beep? Do you know why?
No, but I'm sure they'll tell us.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm really not sure about that one.
Yeah, I don't know. And then also it says, Turney can't deal with seeing me off of Mets L streak. I guess maybe he's been fading the Mets this weekend and winning some bets. Is that what he's saying?
No, I think it's more like seeing him at the beach bash and like the
Oh, seeing him this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess maybe it's not necessarily him, like, specifically, really more of the collective, you know, like the Yankee fans that will be there. And obviously, you know, like, I mean, not that Kev Dew is a bad guy or anything, but I feel like he kind of makes it worse a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because he opens his mouth, he runs his mouth a little bit, and then obviously he entices, antagonizes Yankee fans. It's just, it causes like a big rift for me, because then I get kind of like roped into it, you know?
Yeah. And it's one of those things like where, you know, no one's really like looking to say anything, like even, and then like, you know, he might say something and then we're gonna be like, well, listen, I mean, what's going on with you right now?
That's what I mean. Like, what the
hell, dude? You know,
Like he just leaves himself out there. And like I said, then I get pulled in.
Yeah.
You know, and then I gotta say some shit. And then I gotta like, oh man, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think what is the moral of the story here, Tony?
Don't talk shit. Is that the
To
moral of
Yankee
the story?
fans?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that, dude.
No, it felt like you were saying that, dude.
No, I was not. Those were not the next words out of my mouth, dude. Like definitely not.
What Ernie with
Josh
the
B,
explanation
the
here.
Yearney. All right, here we go. Ernie with the beep beep is a bowling nickname. He's a bus in the 10th. All you'll hear is a horn after getting 3 stuffed at you. LMAO.
Right.
All right. I mean, yeah.
No, hey, I mean, at least he explained it, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I still understand.
Yeah,
but
actually,
yeah,
no, I know. But it's just, what are we gonna do? You know, like just look at it like for like 10 minutes, you know?
No, I guess he's saying that he's obviously just clutch in the 10th frame. I mean, it's 3 strikes every 10th frame. So he's anchor, I guess, you know, good guy.
All right.
Beep beep.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, obviously most of today's show is going to be focused on baseball, but just while it's in front of me, we already kind of mentioned it. Just wanted to kind of do a little one over on the Travelers Championship. So for the second time in 3 years, Keagan Bradley is your champion. I believe it was his 8th career PGA Tour win, 15 under par. You know, and shot 68 yesterday, but the big catalyst was a 63 on Saturday to move him into contention. And I didn't get to catch, you know, it just was a busy weekend. I didn't get to catch too much of this tournament, but I was able to see the final couple holes yesterday, and specifically number 18. And Tommy Fleetwood, you know, went to the tee, you know, with a 1-shot lead over Keagan Bradley. And, you know, they both had good tee shots. And also they were playing in threesomes. They had a delayed start because of the rain yesterday morning here in Connecticut. So, you know, Heenley, you know, was also 2 shots back. So it was like, you know, he had to birdie Bradley, you know, Fleetwood, if he bogeyed, then there could be playoff, this and that. So, but both Bradley and Fleetwood hit good tee shots. Heenley ends up being in the rough. But then on the approach, you know, Fleetwood goes first, and I guess he was indecisive about what club he was going to use.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, instead of, you know, being, you know, somewhere near the cup, he's 50 feet away on the fringe. And then Keagan Bradley stuffs it within 5 feet, 8 inches. And then before there's any putts, Russell Heenley actually chips in, which was kind of nuts. So that got him to 14. But then Fleetwood from 50 feet, first putt, doesn't hit it with enough speed. And his second putt was actually outside of Keagan Bradley's putt. So, you know, Keagan got a free read there, and Fleetwood misses that one. veers off to the right. I mean, and just what a disappointment. I mean, it was only like a 6-foot putt. And, for these PGA Tour professionals, that's something you should make, especially in a clutch moment, especially for someone like Tommy Fleetwood, who's won all over the world except in the United States. So he misses that. So he needs Bradley to miss the birdie putt to go to a playoff. And Keagan stuffs it right in the center.
Unbelievable.
The emotion, the crowd going nuts, the USA chants since he's the Ryder Cup captain. So that was unbelievable. I mean, the look on Fleetwood's face to get this close once again. And also, I believe he was tied for like the worst round on the course yesterday, because obviously TPC Cromwell usually pretty player friendly. They always call it a birdie fest, and this one I don't know if it was just due to some of the conditions over the weekend or whatever, but 15 under the winner. I mean, that's not too crazy. But to be over par here is kind of nuts on a par 70 to shoot 72. So I mean, that's it. And I mean, watching it, I mean, you hate to really get on a guy, and we know Tommy Fleetwood is a really good golfer. I mean, but is it not a choke? I mean, it's just like he's been close like this before, lost in the playoff to Nick Taylor at the Canadian Open a couple years ago. I mean, is it just a complete choke job here?
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. A literal choke job. Like you said, I mean, he was doing well the first 3 rounds, really. I mean, he played consistent golf, even through some tough weather. I feel like the winds were fucking like howling.
Right.
Friday and Saturday. And it's like, when he came out there and he played, some of the best golf, in the tournament. So, I mean, like, for him to come out here on the Sunday, I don't know what it was. I mean, obviously, you said that he's done it before, so maybe it's something that more on his end, but I don't know if he felt more pressures because, Bradley was looked at as like the hometown golfer, being from Vermont. Seemed like he was a fan favorite. I don't know if that got in his head or something, because like you said, there's really no excuse to why he's shooting a 72, on a Sunday. So it's pretty tough for Fleetwood. But I mean, you got to also like give it to Keegan Bradley. I mean, he was playing very consistent golf most of the weekend. And I mean, obviously I had my eyes on him because he was my sleeper pick. And it just seemed like, anytime he made a mistake, which was not very often, most of it too coming off of a tee where he would find himself maybe in the rough or in a bunker. I mean, he would put himself in a position to 2-putt for par. And when he was on it, I mean, he was putting for birdie. And I mean, on the Sunday too, he hit probably 2 like 60-foot putts for birdie on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. 2 out of the 3 holes too. I mean, so he was certainly dialed in, putting the pressure on Fleetwood too. So maybe that's what it was too. I mean, it was going to be a tight race regardless, obviously. So you feel bad for Fleetwood, but I mean, it was great to see, like you said, the emotion out of Bradley, and for him to do it here, it just seems like the guy loves playing Connecticut. So
yeah,
for him,
and there's a lot of, he wouldn't answer the question, but like there's a lot of talk about, since he's the Ryder Cup captain, a lot of times, they don't end up playing because usually they're past their prime, but he's kind of still, near the top of his game. And, just like, you're thinking you're going to be on the team, and he just didn't even answer the question. But the way he's playing, you would think he'll earn himself on with the points, but we'll see. But yeah, definitely, congratulations to Keagan. And, the difference in this win for Keagan versus Fleetwood winning is, he played the final 3 holes at 1 under par. Fleetwood 2 over. That's just not going to get it done.
Nope.
So Fleetwood, has to settle for that tie for second place with Heenley. Harris English, who had won in an 8-hole playoff a few years back, he tied for 4th with Jason Day at 13 under par. Scotty Scheffler, what do you know, in the top 10, tied with Rory, 12 under. Had a pretty good week, a 62, on Thursday, 69 Friday, but a 72 kind of took him out of the running despite shooting 65 yesterday. So him and Rory with good weeks here. Brian Harmon finished 8th at 10 under par. Justin Thomas sneaking in there with a top 10, tied for 9th with Lucas Glover. And then, Robert McIntyre tied for 17th, 6 under par. Wyndham Clark also 6 under par, tied for 17th. I would say a disappointing tournament for Aubert. He finishes only 2 under. Same thing with Morikawa, 1 under par, tied for 42nd. So it, kind of interesting. Xander, who was actually my pick, finishes +4, tied for 61st, a place that he's won before. That was shocking to see. Tony Finau 11 under par, last in the field of the players who finished. And for whatever reason, you had 5 withdrawals in this tournament: Spieth, Kim, Cole, Hovland, and Schmid. So, wasn't that easy for everybody. But at the end of the day, congratulations to Keagan. We'll
Tony.
And Tony. We'll have the Rocket Classic on Thursday, so we'll talk about that Wednesday. And then we got a few weeks till we get our final major of the season. The Open Championship, Royal Portrush, Rory's Homecoming, obviously Scottish Open before that. So not too many big tournaments left. Obviously the playoffs, but the playoffs are, whatever. So congrats to Keagan there. Always a good Travelers Championship. And I guess Ernie had one more there.
Oh, yeah. Ernie, I guess, dude. He's trying to talk some shit here. And he says, yes, exactly, Tony. Very clutch in the 10th. Something that I know nothing about is what he says, which is wrong. Okay, I'll have you know, Ernie, high school bowling team, I was the anchor. Okay, dude, I was the last man down.
So you're saying get the
best
hell
player,
out of here,
dude.
basically.
Get the hell out of here. College, used to do Baker style tournaments. I was the guy bowling the 5th and the 10th frame. Okay?
So you're just saying enough.
Enough, dude. I'm not having it.
So that's really what we got there. But let's move along here. The world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So definitely an interesting weekend of Major League Baseball. Obviously we were there in numbers on Friday. So just wanted to share a couple of things about that.
Yeah, let's go.
First of all, great, meeting up with everybody, JD, Ace, Kev Do, of course, Matt, and actually, got to meet, or I guess I had met him quickly before, but Kev's brother as well. So the day starts, we meet JD at Arthur Ave, and we're all set. I had mentioned this, on Friday, to go to Ann and Tony's. We get there, no one in the place, which is fine, whatever. I mean, it's like 4:00, so it's kind of early for dinner. You understand that. And I don't know, like, it didn't actually smell like this. I don't know if it was just more just, I don't know, just being an older place, maybe musty. They haven't done a good cleaning in a while. It just smelled like shit. So I don't know if it was a sewage problem, but we dead serious. Not actual shit, but you know what I mean? It just was not a good smell. So we literally left. Got the menus, and then we're like, so Matt said, "Oh, sorry, we're at the wrong place."
Oh my God, did he really?
Yeah, and then we ended up going to Amelia's, which was pretty good.
Okay.
I got
hammered.
Yeah, not hammered, but had a couple glasses of Cabernet.
Oh yeah.
And then we split the arugula salad, calamari, and the antipasto, which usually comes with calamari, but it didn't. But the shrimp and
The gnocchi.
the clams, and the roll of
Baked
cheese.
clams?
Yes.
Oh.
So that was really good.
Love
I got
baked
the
clams.
shrimp scampi over linguine for my meal.
Really?
And then to finish up, the cappuccino and tiramisu, outstanding. So definitely, a great meal there. And then by the time we got to Yankee Stadium, it was time to go in. Great seats. Just obviously at the end of the day, was a disappointing game, a game that we had so many missed opportunities. And fortunately, this was only the only low point of the weekend. Of course, it just figures, when I'm there. We ended up losing to the Orioles 5-3, and really wasn't any fault of Max Fried. He had delivered another quality start. And I guess for him, sure, it was a lot of runs to give up. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. But anytime you're delivering a quality start, that's good. And it was a shame too, because he had Gary Sanchez. He had 2 strikes on him. They're playing the horn, runners on, get out of the inning, and unfortunately, just can't get him to swing through. single to left field, made it 2-0 Baltimore. But, the good part was, we did answer back with a Jazz single in the first, to make it 2-1. And then Dominguez hits a sac fly to make it 2-2. So, you're right back in it. Judge, and it was funny. I knew he was going to hit one because it had been a week. It had been since the game at Fenway Park. He hits one to right center, 368 to make it 3-2. So you're thinking, okay, we can kind of just, cruise from there. But unfortunately, we don't get any more offense. Fried lets up another run in the sixth. And then it was interesting, too. I've never seen this, and I don't know if you have. Fernando Cruz, with 2 outs in the sixth inning, starts running in from the bullpen, was halfway there into the grass, and they sent him back. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't think so, no.
No, usually maybe right at the beginning of the bullpen door, you go back. No, this is halfway in the outfield. So I guess Fried convinced Boone to keep him in there, which was kind of interesting. He gets the out, but unfortunately, 3-3 game. Luke Weaver making his first appearance off the injured list. First batter, 3-2 on Urias, and he gives up a home run to right. And then also Henderson singles to make it 5-3. So very uncharacteristic of Luke Weaver. And then people were complaining, you can't put somebody into a tight situation off the injured list, which I don't really agree with. I mean, I think Luke Weaver, that's his role. These are the roles that he's meant for. Unfortunately, he faltered. Not that we're anticipating that going forward. Just bad timing. Just wasn't sharp enough, didn't have it. And it was a shame because even, despite that, you still had opportunities throughout this game, but you left 10 on base, and you were 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So that's not going to get it done. Volpe, made an error, as well. And, that wasn't, okay. That was a different game. But anyway, Volpe actually, 0 for 4, and just continues, to be the talking point here. So it was disappointing. But fortunately, from that point on, the Yankees, had a great weekend. And on to Saturday, you win 9-0. Clark Schmidt, 7 no-hit innings. So, easily the best start of his career. And do you know, Tony, JD had this on his show. I guess it was yesterday, actually. This was a trivia question. But he has the second lowest earned run average in the American League since the start of last season, only to Tariq Skubal.
Wow,
Pretty impressive, no?
That's really impressive, surprisingly.
Well, you think about it, his ERA last year was 2.85. Right now it's 2.84 after these 7 shutout innings. So great start by him, and he is so important to this team because, you think about Heel coming back, and if Clark Schmidt is going to give you, big innings, I mean, that's just huge because you got Rodon, Fried, Schmidt, and Heel. I mean, talk about a postseason rotation. Without Garrett Cole, I think that's pretty good. So, the pitching was outstanding. Only 1 hit allowed. JT Brubaker made his debut. He had gotten hit in the back with a line drive in spring training. So, first appearance as a Yankee, 2 scoreless innings. So, you love to see that. And the best part about this game, throughout this, bad stretch here, losing streak, offensive problem, but not in this game. You hit 3 home runs in the first 2 innings. Grisham, who I believe had not homered in 29 games, hit his 15th home run. So that made it 1-0 in the first. Escara hit one in the second to make it 2-0. And then Ben Rice also hits a home run there in the second inning, back-to-back, his 13th home run of the season. So you're up 3-0 after 2. Escara with another RBI in the third on a sac fly. You had Peraza beat out an infield single. So you're up 6-0 after 3 innings. You kind of cruise from there. And Volpe, of course, now that, it's not a clutch situation, game in hand, he homers to right in the 5th to make it 7-0. And that was Volpe's 9th of the year. Ben Rice with a triple in the 5th made it 8-0. And then Escara with another RBI in the 6th on a single made it 9-0. So Escara actually had one of the best games of his career, 2 for 3, and had 3 RBIs. So just an outstanding bounce back performance. So that set up yesterday's game, which I thought, was very important. You hadn't won a series in a little while here, actually since sweeping Kansas City. Baltimore, obviously a last place team of the American League East. And speaking of the American League East, I believe, the record, I think, going into this game was like 8-12 against 8-12, 9-12 against American League East teams. So it was important to get this series win, and it was a dogfight, and it was interesting. And I don't know, if it has anything to do with it, but this was a Roku national game, 11:35, and we know that players are creatures of habit. So that's basically starting, especially because Sunday games, are typically at 1:35. So 2 hours prior to when they would normally play on a Sunday. I mean, do you think that plays a big role here? Like just in terms of like your routine starting 2 hours early than usual? Or you just kind of go to bed early, this and that?
I mean, I would think yes with some of these players. I mean, a lot of players, you mentioned routine. I mean, they live and die by a routine. I guess, obviously it's circumstantial, I suppose, but I would think most players do. So yeah, I would say it does affect them. Would you concur?
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah, I think so. And then maybe as the game goes on, you kind of settle in, you're into it, whatever. But maybe from the start. And it's interesting too. Will Warren, I guess they were talking about the splits, day versus night. And I think his ERA during the day is like double, and he gives up 2 runs in the first inning. So you're thinking, geez, like this is going to be a long day. And we've seen Warren have some tough games this season. But after that, he's pretty much flawless. Gives them 6 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. So coming off that career high, the elusive 11 strikeouts the start before, he really stepped up. One thing that was surprising pitching wise was Tim Hill did not have it through 17 pitches, only 6 strikes, 2 walks, in I believe it was the 8th inning. But Fernando Cruz, 3 strikeouts, comes in, saves him from first and second, nobody out. So that was huge. And then Devin Williams here knocking down the save, his 10th of the year. So he's really turned it around. And right now, I mean, he's the closer. We'll see if they give Weaver a chance to earn it back. But, he's just been pitching so well. And it's crazy. The beginning of the year was so bad, despite him, on a really good stretch here. His ERA is still 5.08. But yesterday, worked around a 2-out single to get that save. Offensively, it was interesting because, after you're down there in the first inning, the second inning, you get 1 run back, a DJ single, and Jazz ends up scoring. And that was the play we talked about with him, running past the catcher through his glove, ball gets knocked out. Catcher actually has to leave the game. And that was the play too. Jazz's shoes came off.
Yeah, so that had just come off earlier. After the game, he said like he was so sweaty because it was so hot out that his sock just like slid the cleat right off.
Wow.
I've never heard of that, dude.
But it was on that play.
Yeah, that was in the second inning.
Yeah.
Like
could you tell that from being at the game that his shoes off or no?
No, you couldn't tell until after he like crawled to the plate to touch it and then was like looking for his shoes.
But that's just like a situation, you really just don't see much. And Jazz was really the star of the show yesterday. So 2-1, Yankees, had some opportunities after that, but weren't able to put anything across. But the 8th inning is where this game turned, and the Yankees were able to, win this series. So, we fast forward to that point here. Bottom 8, Brian Baker pitching for Baltimore. Ben Rice with the leadoff single. Cody Bellinger grounds out, but that moves Rice to second. And it was interesting on that play. Seemed like he had a chance at a double play, but the first baseman hesitated, so takes the sure out at first. And then Stanton hits an absolute rocket single to left, and he had struck out 3 times before that at bat. So that was a huge hit for Stanton and an underrated move. And they were talking about this. I think Rick was talking about this morning which I get it. Cause I mean, listen, I'm not a Boone guy myself, but everyone always talks about the bad moves that Boone makes, not the good ones. But Paul Goldschmidt runs for Stanton, and it was kind of interesting. I was back from golf watching this game, and Pooch goes, Goldschmidt's running for Stanton. Like, how much faster is he really than Stanton? I'm like, believe it or not,
Dude.
he's actually a lot faster than Stanton. And what do you know? That comes into play. Jazz Chisholm narrowly misses a 3-run homer, hits off the top of the wall. He's able to get a triple. And then Paul Goldschmidt scores from first. Great slide. Just gets under the tag. That's a grizzled vet, that's for sure. So that gives the Yankees a 3-2 lead. And then finally, because this always like comes back to bite, it feels like when the other team has the infield in, you're running on contact. It seems like it's like only us that just hits like little ground balls to third baseman, and then it's an easy play at home. I swear that's happened like 10 times this season. And that happens. But you got Jazz running, so obviously the value of speed. But then Gary Sanchez, forced to catch, came in as an injury replacement, doesn't catch the ball. So Jazz is safe, and it was funny that the ump calls him out, even though he never even caught the ball. So I don't know how he thought he was out, but he's not. And then Wells made sure, after the fact, Jazz tags the bag. So that made it 4-2. And the Yankees don't get anything across the rest of that inning. And like I said, Devin Williams pretty much a lights out ninth inning. Just Jackson Holiday did have a single with 2 outs, but then he got Ramon Urias to ground out to third, and that's the game. Yankees take the series 45 up, 32 down, 24-16. So still, despite having that stretch, where you lose 7 out of 8 games, I mean, those are still pretty solid numbers. And the most important part is you're still in first place. And it was a rare day where everything went perfect because you won and all of your divisional rivals lost. So that's all you could hope for. So with that, you're 2.5 up on Tampa, 4 up on Toronto, 6 up on Boston, and then 12 up on Baltimore. So pretty solid standing. You got 3 games in Cincinnati starting tonight. I imagine every time they're in Cincinnati, Paul O'Neill's on the call, so I'd imagine we'd see that. And then you're going to come home and you got 3 with the A's. So I think, that's a pretty good schedule. And listen, I mean, obviously, that 6-game losing streak was brutal, but it seems like the offense is back. And coming up, I mean, I think, the schedule for the next few series is pretty manageable. I guess Toronto, you never know. I mean, that's a 4-game set at Rogers Center. You never know what'll happen. And then 4th of July weekend, the Mets, round 2 for the Subway Series. And then you're home for Seattle and Chicago. Seattle seems like they've been struggling a little bit, but Chicago has been one of the better teams. The only down note, Ryan Yarbrough yesterday placed on the injured list with an oblique injury. So Alan Winans is going to make his Yankees debut. Believe it or not, has a point. I actually have to check this out. It's either 0.5 or 0.9 ERA in the minor leagues.
What's his name, Matt?
No, Alan Winans. I want to say it's
Alan
0.9. Because he used to be on the Braves. You kind of remember him?
Yeah, of course. Minor league.
Baseball reference here. Let's see. Does it show the minor league
career looking for 2025?
What is it?
0.9.
0.9. I mean, that's kind of nuts. So 9. It seems like the organization is behind him. I think he got called up earlier this year, but then didn't pitch. So he'll be making the spot start. The Reds are a 500 team. Obviously, we got to be concerned about keeping Ellie De La Cruz at bay. But
I mean that's think, great, dude. Like,
yeah, I think it's good. He'll get you get a look because what your organizational depth here is. And he'll be opposed by Nick Lodolo, who's been last couple of years inconsistent, pretty solid this year though, 5-5, 3-1. So it's definitely boy, this is actually nuts. So despite the Yankees being -130 favorites, the ESPN analytics department has the Reds with a 67% chance of winning. I'm not seeing that one, right? I mean, Reds 40-38.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess
do they know something we don't?
ESPN doesn't always know what they're doing, though.
No, they don't, dude. And that matchup predictor is like, I mean, it's not necessarily like you can live and die by that thing at all.
Yeah. So,
Maybe they think Oscar is starting behind the dish, and so he can't throw out runners.
but
Maybe.
he just started yesterday, so he's not going to start.
I know.
Right.
Maybe they think.
Unless Better Ice is going to get the call, but
I mean, maybe they just did not look at Winnin's minor league numbers and just think that, oh, this guy's making first start this season. Like, he's not going to be good. Probably.
I think it's just because it's a fill-in starter, but
Yeah.
I think that's
I wonder who was in charge of that matchup predictor, you know?
yeah, I don't know, maybe Jeremy Schaap.
Yeah, maybe.
But so I mean, I think listen, like obviously Friday was a pain, but it seemed like, you know, obviously that dominant performance on Saturday was everything that you could hope for. And then yesterday, only the second time of the entire season that we trailed after 7 innings, rallied. So, I mean, you got to hope that now, you know, this is the turn of the corner. And I think the key is, even though we didn't win on Friday, I mean, we hit well. So it seems like the offense is kind of back to finding their stride, which is what we need, obviously.
Yeah, no, 100%. JC Oscar is looking really well. If you look at his numbers, like when he starts games, has a 230 average, 824 OPS. He's looking good. I mean, it'd be great to understand why Volpe decided to hit the day before his off day, but I mean, he worked a walk yesterday and wasn't just chasing, so that seemed a little better. Yeah, Belly and Judge, I think, were kind of the worst two this series, and I mean, both of them still had hits, both of them still made impactful plays on offense and defense. So when two of your top 4 guys aren't the heroes, but you still win the series, it's always great to see.
Yeah. And, you know, they're talking about, you know, Heel, who I believe
Come back soon?
he's faced hitters for the first time since turning his right a day ago. They're saying late July return. So, you know, which is basically like a month. But, I mean, that's going to be a huge addition.
Huge, dude.
You know, to this team. So, yeah. I mean, I think all in all, good to get this series. Now you just want to take another one in Cincinnati, and you feel like you should win these next 2 series coming up.
Oh, yeah,
you want the bats to keep going. And like kind of what Danny was alluding to, the fact that Judge has not been on fire. I know he homered on Friday, but what happens when he gets going? I mean, then I think we're really going to start seeing things. And it's kind of interesting. Seems like we always talk about him a lot, and JD and Ernie were talking about this in the group chat yesterday. Jazz, I mean, he really is one of our most important players, despite his inconsistencies. But you think about, I mean, we don't win that game yesterday without him.
Yeah, it's 100%. And I mean, like, in most spots with Jazz, in most games, you see him have a 3-0 count, and you're like, I don't want him swing. But, like, yesterday was a day where going and you were like, take a good swing, and, like, you can ace this ball.
Right.
Because, like, you have DJ behind you. You don't want to work a walk because DJ's good shot of a double play.
Right.
So it was just perfect combination of Jazz showing us that he can play 70% and not swing out of his shoes every at bat.
Yeah. And he even said in the post-game interview there was looking fastball, didn't have one in that at bat. So that was just huge. And his number, I think he's hitting like 360 since he came out of the injured list.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Yeah. He's just been great since coming back. The only thing is I'd love him at second base, and if we had a real third baseman.
Yeah, so we'll see if, you know, McMahon, who Ernie has been heating up, if he's in play, that would be interesting. But I agree, that's the one thing. I mean, sure, I mean, it's not like having LeMahieu playing third base was at third, but it's just having him at his best position. I mean, obviously that's the optimal thing. You know, you want to have, and what is it, 350 in June?
350 in June.
Pretty crazy. OPS, what, 987?
987 OPS, slugging 567.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So that's everything you could ask for. You know, just hoping tonight, you know, Winnins can give you 5 innings of 2 runs or less, and let the bullpen take it from there. And let the offense, you know, go to work.
Show that ESPN predictor who's boss.
So yeah, exactly. Fuck ESPN. Besides Rick and Dave, obviously.
Michael K.
No, but you know what I mean. Fuck ESPN with the higher ups that we don't know, not the people that we do know. That's what I meant. But
did you watch the vlog, by the way?
Yes.
The tailgate vlog?
No, you don't. I mean, I guess you just don't read my text anymore.
Oh, did you say great job on the? Well,
Yes.
yeah, I know you say that, but
I
like,
said it and just lied. Tony. I'm a
I
big
mean, you
liar.
can say great job and like, oh, I didn't watch the whole thing yet or something. I don't know.
No, I
man.
watched the entire thing, start to finish. That was great, and I love too that we really caught a lot of Ernie, Patty, Josh B. Like most of the, really all. I feel like we pretty much had everything that I like with the interviews. It was like everything was there.
No, literally, everything came together.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because I mean, there's always a level of uncertainty on who you're gonna get. Like who wants to give their time and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it was nice to see that everyone was like down to clown, having a great time, and obviously it showed in the interviews. So I think it was a great time, dude.
Yeah, it was. And then it was, like I said, cracking up because I don't know, Mike or something over the weekend had sent the screenshot of Michael K when he looked a certain way one time, but just I loved that we caught the part about asking about the Met fans. Like his reaction to that was kind of funny. That was almost kind of like,
God.
yeah, I'm just looking for my family.
Yeah.
But Michael K, what a legend. What a legend.
Oh, so funny.
But I guess a couple more comments here before we.
We got a couple here. Let's see. Brock 718 said, "Let's go Yankees."
Let's go Yanks,
dude. And then we have Jason waking up here. Says, "Good morning, Sportsport Lindor. Homer win streak ends in a tough L yesterday."
Win streak with the 1-game win streak.
No. There was a
when he
28.
homers.
Yeah, I think it was 28 games.
That's insane.
Yeah, 28 games that they won with a
28
homer
games.
straight, and then 29 would have been, I think, tying the record.
Wow.
Obviously not going to happen. It is tough, dude.
How's Jay doing? I mean, I know he could tell us, but I mean, is he struggling with this?
He texted me, I think on Sunday morning, maybe. Just literally just say hi, whatever. But just I'll say exactly what he said, because it was sad when he texted me. Let's see, dude. And this is also like, by the way, this is like the weekend of his brother's wedding. He's texting me this, dude.
Let's hear it.
Where is it, dude? Am I freaking out, dude?
Freaking out, man.
Oh, he texted me, "I missed the Mets winning."
Oh wow. How did you respond to that one?
Well, I was basically agreeing. I was like, "Yeah, dude, kind of tough." Talking about Blade Tidwell a little bit, or Tidwell, excuse me. And then just try to be positive, dude. Is really what you need.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, I missed Kadai." That's what he said. That's what's first started.
And they're saying, I think August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're talking about it this morning.
Yeah, dude, it's tough with Kadai for sure, dude. I mean, you didn't. I mean, obviously, he's injury prone, but I guess you didn't think to be going down with an injury like that. Like trying to play a ball at first base. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, well, what's the deal? I know we talked about this already. Montas is
I think Wednesday,
and then what about Minaya?
He's not back yet. Still rehabbing.
Was there any
I
setback?
think end of the month. I think maybe
just kind of slow.
I'd have to double check. No, yeah, it's just AJ said I miss Kadai. That's what he said. Mets pitching has been the same. It hasn't been the same since. I guess let's look it up here while we're here. Sean Minaya, here we go. Friday, oblique, retires 15 in a row, looking pretty sharp. Let's see if they should be back. He will then meet the Mets for the start of their homestand Monday at Citi Field if the Mets medical staff clears him. Oh, wait, Vientos. Why are they talking about?
Gotta go up.
Oh, God. Oh, Vientos progressing. Thank you, Minaya. Spring training, best pitcher last season. Switched out. Manaya's return first week of July.
Okay. So around the corner.
Around the corner, dude. I guess next week. I think maybe we're playing Pittsburgh this weekend. And I think maybe Milwaukee. I think it would be the next series. So.
Speaking of Vientos, though, it seems like he's going to get activated. I mean,
it does seem like it. Meet us
Beatty's
at Citi Field this weekend.
Not hitting again. Right?
No, yeah, Beatty isn't great. But I mean, Vientos, is he any better necessarily?
I think he is a better player. I think he is, honestly. There's no way that he's going to be like Miguel Andujar and just like fall off a cliff now. Like I can see this injury helping him. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I think so too, dude. And I think what's been more indicative of that is that, like you said, Beatty hasn't been going on a tear or anything. So it's like it's almost like it fits for Vientos to come back and get another whack at it. But it's just like, I know obviously he's been injured, but he's had a lot of things he needs to work on, specifically defense. I mean, if he's as long as he's locked down at third, like I don't mind that much if he's bad at the plate necessarily. Like it's just you can't be having those defensive mistakes, dude. Like you really can't.
Yeah.
And Vientos has been guilty of that as well. So, obviously you see what happens when he comes back, but there's a lot going on around the Mets roster to be concerned about right now. So,
and before we get to that, I guess we missed a couple more here.
Oh yeah, sorry. We have Urdini, whatever Urdini. He says Acuna Jr. doesn't care if it's 11:30 game. He's on TikTok. I don't know what that refers to necessarily.
You didn't see that?
No. What? Why?
They were ripping him because after they lost, what was it? They lost to the Phillies on Friday night, was it? He was on TikTok at like 12:30 at night, and everyone was just like talking. I don't know, talking to these girls or whatever, and everyone was just saying like, "Oh,
really?
Like, you're losing games, and here you are staying up late on TikTok going live." I don't know.
That is kind of weird. He went live on TikTok.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't see that.
That is kind of weird. Yeah, no, I wasn't really on.
I mean, I feel like search it real quick.
All right, let's
Acuna Jr. TikTok. It's not a junior, is it? No. Luis Angel. You gotta put Luis Angel there. Come on, dude.
Wait, so we're not talking about Acuna Jr. We are talking about Luis Angel.
You didn't see that though.
No, I did not see that. I did not see that at all.
Yeah. Maybe like news.
Did you saw this?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Ronald Acuna and Luis Acuna's brotherly love steal spotlight to for them will be matchup. Mets struggling winning games. What to do with Luis Angel Acuna?
I guess there's no news articles about this, but yeah, basically everyone was talking about it on Twitter, bad luck. But then we were talking about it with everybody, and everyone's just like, our Josh B yesterday was like, just let him be, let him play. Let him be 23 years old or whatever he is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as long as he's not like,
Yeah, here you go. Here
you go. Mets lose 7th game in a row here. Luis Angel Acuna on TikTok live at 12:36 a.m. Dude, this is looks like something of a snapshot of it. That's cool, I guess, dude. I mean, good for him if he's getting after these two chicks, I suppose. But also, I mean, obviously there's a lot to be desired there. But I guess as long as he's not waving any guns, on social media, that's fine. Right?
What do you think Ernie means? Deaf prefer?
Oh, because ESPN predictor. That's when he commented that. Who's working the ESPN predictor? He said definitely prefer.
Okay. And then he's talking about Suarez could be on the move, but
Suarez.
I don't know. Like he's hit a ton of home runs, but I just feel like he's too. Even though McMahon doesn't hit for high average, I feel like Suarez is like a 200 hitter. Like I don't know if we want him.
It's also he plays bad defense.
Yeah.
So like we don't necessarily need the home run hitter. More like a well-rounded player that we can put at third so that Jazz can go back to second.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I guess if he's gonna be like handed to us like for nothing, but then again, everyone's saying there's not gonna be a lot of players available, so sure we'll have to give up something. So it's like we're better off like not doing that, I would think. What else? Butka back.
Well, we do have Ernie actually saying very mediocre numbers.
Talking about Jazz.
As a
joke because
okay.
JD likes giving him a hard time, and he was saying, "Listen, he's been good. He just wants to see the rest of the way." Which I said, I understand.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. I mean, that's what I feel like. Even when Jazz was at Miami, that was a sentiment towards him. And then we got Jay Bird. We have Buckdahl saying Mets have lost 8 out of 9 now. Tony, he says Yankees before the Mets always, which is kind of a weird statement, weird way to say that. And then Buckta says Tony needs to change that golf shirt to Yankee one. Never gonna happen, Buckta, in your fucking dreams, buddy. Barnes, Yankees win column, excited. He says Barnes, I'm not used to you calling me Buckta. I've always been Michael Buckta.
Well, it hasn't been Michael.
Are you mad at me, Barnes?
It's always been Michael. And he says that's a real golf shirt. I'm not mad at you, Michael, but I have to say. Tony might be mad at you, honestly.
I mean, like August 3rd, like you're gonna find out. Right, dude?
Gift was returned. But yeah, so we'll do the preview for the Yankees game tonight in a few. But I mean, I know there's not too many positives, Tony. But I mean, I know you have some stuff to say about the Mets dropping 2 out of 3 to the Phillies this weekend.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Friday, you had the Blade Tidwell start on Friday, and honestly, dude, like I kind of enjoyed the way he was pitching to be honest. He was kind of a hard-throwing pitcher, threw a lot of fastballs, maybe topping off at 98, 99 maybe. And not for nothing, for his first game, tough spot against a hot team like the Phillies. I think he pretty much did well. And I know I'll get his final lineup there. Maybe was it 4 1/3, 3 2/3, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. One of those runs, by the way, was earned but given up to by Castillo because he came into the fourth inning to relieve him. And I just think, I'm not going to blame Mendoza for taking him out early. I think Mendoza probably going into this game thought, all right, if Blade is pitching well, it's a tight game. He's young and experienced. First time of trouble, I'm going to pull him out, which, any manager would do. Not to say that Castillo, caused problems, but I'm not going to sit here and say that Blade pitched poorly because he really didn't, He just really got into trouble that fourth inning. Two of the walks came in that inning. I think he maybe walked somebody in the second. But other than that, he looked pretty solid the first couple innings. Obviously not nearly in the shape he needs to be pitching out like full outings here, but again, I think that was the plan going in to this game specifically, knowing that Blade's going to give you probably 4 or 5 innings at the most, and you have to use your bullpen to work around the lineup here, which they did. Not for nothing. Blade leaves the game. It's 1-0. They get out of that inning, which I think Castillo came in with bases loaded, gave up an RBI single, which was that other earned run by Blade. Or to Blade, I guess you could say. And it's a 2-0 game in the fourth inning. It's not like they were out of it necessarily at that time. And then even after that, sixth inning, you get back-to-back homers, Alonso, McNeil. You love to see that. McNeil is someone who maybe the numbers aren't exactly comparable to Jazz right now, but they're probably going to be pretty close, to be honest. He's coming back from injury. McNeil's been batting really well. Obviously, we know about Alonso and everything. So, that was huge to tie the game up. Same inning. You have to see that 2-2. I think what Mendoza wasn't counting on was Reed Garrett to absolutely just not have it. He does not get an out. He comes in what, the 7th, I think, right? I'm talking to you guys like you watched the game here, but he comes into the 7th.
I actually watched some on Saturday night, by the way.
Did you?
Well, because the Yankees already played. No. I'm just
talking about the Friday.
I know,
game,
but you're talking about watching games. I'm saying I saw some.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Not good enough,
Jay
dude.
texted you right away.
Yeah.
Nimmo, woo, right?
Oh, dude. But in any case, I think that was obviously the tough spot here. Obviously, maybe you're asking for some clutch hits down the end of this game here, but obviously, if it's still 2-2 going to the 8th, going to the 9th, maybe it's a little bit different, dude. But Garrett, like I said, had absolutely nothing going on. Gave up a leadoff double to Marsh, back-to-back doubles to Trey Turner, dude. And that scored Marsh, so it's 3-2. Walks Schwarber, Bohm single. Trey Turner scores. He's got the speed. It's 4-2. And at that point, Mendoza plucks him. Garza comes in as if Garza was even a good guy to go to, but what else are you going to do? No one else would go to the bullpen, and then they start tacking it on and tacking it on and tacking it on. And literally within the blink of an eye, 8th inning, it's 10-2. So, again, one blow-up inning by your bullpen who's been stretched out. We know the problems. Ends up in a loss on Friday. Brian, you mentioned the game on Saturday, dude. The only Canning start. The only
positive note of the weekend.
Absolutely, dude.
Canning, though, I have to say, I told you this last week. Canning sucks, honestly. I think he had a really good start of the year.
Yeah.
He's a pitching machine. He honestly is.
No, he is. He gets up a lot of hits right now. Obviously, he's another... when you look at his past few starts, he's not going deep into games. 94 pitches over 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Only one of his last 5 starts has he reached 6 innings. And that was the really impressive start against the Dodgers. Other than that, you're looking at 3 innings against Chicago, 5 1/3 against Washington, 4 1/3 against Tampa Bay, 5 innings here on Saturday. Listen, it's nice that 3 out of his last 5 starts are wins. He's getting wins, I guess you could say. But again, for a team where your pitching staff is stretched thin, you need starters to give you innings.
But is there anything that you notice in particular that he was doing earlier in the year when he was having success versus having now? Was he just not giving up hits and all of a sudden now he's just giving up a bunch of hits? What's the difference?
Yeah, I think, we talked about it a little bit. Mechanically, He is like before at the beginning of the year, kind of had when he would wind up on his kind of, he would kind of reach back, his hand would be kind of over his head, right? Past few starts, he's kind of pitching it more closer to his ear. I don't know why or who told him that, but ever since then, they even talked about it in the broadcast, like he was giving up a lot more hits, I don't know if because the arm angle is different. Maybe, batters are able to see his pitches a little bit better, and that's why he's giving up hits. But I do think it's a mechanical problem or issue, I should say. And I guess, we'll kind of see what happens,
Yeah.
If he adjusts. If not, I mean, again, he services through a start here. It's obviously not quality. It's not what you want. But he has a great bullpen to back him up here, which again, I mean, it's fine, but I mean, you can't be relying on that every time.
Well, and do you think though, like when the rotation's at full strength, like he'll have some value as like a long reliever?
Yeah, I guess so. Again, I mean, excuse me. The only problem is like mechanically, he's got to fix like his pitching.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna trust him in the middle of a game, long relief. I'm not gonna trust him in, if he comes on with like one out and a runner on into an inning, like I'm not going to be having a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously I understand that.
It's tough.
And also, too, I just see on here, it kind of goes with what you're talking about, but Patty had a comment here. Mets fan.
There we go, dude. It's the same thing yesterday, too, Tony. 5 good innings, and they hit around the bottom of the 5th. Such a weird implosions. I think we'll be fine, he says, but obviously it's hard not to have concerns. Yeah. No, I mean, especially after, a start where the pitching staff really surprised you throughout, starters from Clay Holmes to Canning early on to Peterson, obviously, to the bullpen, Kranick, Stanek, obviously Diaz been dialed in, Reed Garrett up until this weekend or really, I guess, maybe the last 2 weeks. Like all these guys are super dialed in. And then like we talked about last week, you're kind of maybe expecting some type of drop off, some type of regression. But obviously you didn't anticipate the injuries to happen in bunches. You didn't anticipate all the regression to happen in bunches as well. It seems like everyone is faltering at this point. And it's really not making them like any wins to come by easily. Like yeah, this Saturday, 11-4. But I mean, I don't know, not for nothing. Like halfway through this game, like it's 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th, Right. Even in the 8th innings, 8-4, and you're still kind of like, So, obviously, this is the one win we were recapping, 11-4. You basically have a revenge spot here on Saturday from the beatdown you got down on Friday, and the hits came plenty. And from the top half of your lineup, Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, obviously 2 dingers, 4 for 5. Alonso, I mean, those top 4 guys there. 10 hits, collectively between Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, and Alonso. That's awesome. You even had some of your bottom half guys, Tyrone Taylor with a nice pinch hit. And then Alvarez, obviously 2 for 5 with a dinger. And we'll talk about him in a second because was it Saturday night or Sunday morning? They optioned him down to AAA, call up Sanger, which is interesting. I think almost like what you were saying with Volpe's, home run. It's almost like bad timing before an off day.
Right.
And I think with Alvarez, they obviously already decided they were going to send him down, which, I mean, is probably good for him, good for the ball club. I mean, he's obviously offensively hasn't been anything really to look at, nothing really like you anticipated. Looks kind of lost at the plate. And honestly, defensively, too. I mean, has made some shoddy calls defensively behind the plate. We talked about it, I think, in the game against the series against the Braves, maybe. I forget who. Was it Olsen, maybe? That was going to steal third, kind of gets tripped up. Alvarez ends up throwing to second, and, he's able just to stroll into third base because why would you make a throw to second at that time? So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Alvarez. I don't know if it's his thumb. I doubt it, honestly, at this point. It seems to be a little bit more than that. But I think maybe some time down in AAA would do him well. And also, not for nothing, I think we've seen Torrens heat up. He could be someone who contributes offensively in this series against the Braves right now at home. So it should be interesting to see. Even Sanger too. I mean, he's had a great story. I think he's the guy, AAA, lifelong. He's at what, probably 30? I think 31. He's fucking bagging groceries in the offseason, and now, he's starting catching. So, again, I mean, that guy could come in with a chip on his shoulder, some drive behind him to prove himself, and jumpstart something here for the Mets. In the meantime, Alvarez works out some kinks in the minors. I'd say that's good for everyone. Speaking of him not starting, we'll go to the Sunday start. We'll go to the Sunday loss, dude. As I've lost my tab here. It doesn't really matter, though, because, again, there's not really much to talk about here. 7-1 loss here, Sunday Night Baseball. Another game, where it felt like you were in the running, and then just the fourth inning kerfuffle by Peterson. And it was, again, I mean, it was almost like that one inning that Reed Garrett had on Friday. This was the one inning that Peterson had on Sunday. Where, the first 3 innings, honestly, seemed like okay. I think his first 2 innings, he retired his first 6 batters he faced. It was 3 up, 3 down. Maybe third inning, you see some control issues. And then the fourth inning was the real implosion. It just seemed like his slider he couldn't locate his slider, to be honest. I think that's where both the home runs came off of his slider, kind of, maybe lower in the zone, but over the middle of the plate. And not for nothing, the home run hitters, I think it was Schwarber and Bohm, maybe? Schwarber and Sosa. I mean, those guys are going to be looking at chops at a slider over the middle.
Edmundo Sosa, second homer of the year.
Great. So, obviously, you look at that fourth inning, you're down 5-0. Offense, just looked absolutely lost. I mean, honestly, there's really no excuse why Luzardo 7 Ks over 6 2/3. Like, yeah, that guy gave up 25 runs over his previous 4 starts.
I feel like he started off this season real well and then just fell off. Right?
Like fell off significantly.
Every other start, he's good or bad. Like he just he had a loss against the Marlins earlier this week.
Yeah, like really bad.
Yeah.
So, and I think he literally lasted 3 innings against the Brewers like last week or 2 weeks ago. So again, I mean, there's just no reason why this guy should be on the mound looking like Satchel Paige, Brian.
Looking like Clark Schmidt.
Looking like Clark Schmidt. You can say that too.
Yeah, I mean, second lowest ERA last since 2024. Started the season. Clark Schmidt.
I mean, there's really no excuse. Dropping 2 out of 3, I guess. I mean, it just seemed like Sunday. I don't know. I kind of expected the win. I kind of expected a Peterson vintage performance. Not really vintage because vintage. This was really a vintage performance. It was 4 innings and 5 earned runs, to be honest. And like I said, just the bats totally lost. I mean, I don't understand how you can score 11 runs one night and then have 3 hits collectively as a team, 4 hits as a team on Sunday. It's just not against a pitcher who isn't really that fantastic. So obviously super tough. Morale is kind of on an all-time low for the season right now, which doesn't really say much, I suppose. 1 game back of the division right now, which is kind of crazy to say too. The back and forth they've had with the Phillies, whatever. But it's just 4-game homestand right now against the Braves. I mean, you got to bounce back against the Braves. I mean, as a Met fan, you want to sweep them. You hope for the sweep. You need the sweep to feel good about yourself.
Will you get it?
It's going to be hard to say yes.
Yeah. Law of averages? Right? I mean, win some games here after 8 out of 9.
Yeah. No. Win some games, yes. Sweep. I mean, we're talking about like a 2%.
Okay.
Like a 2% chance in my head.
What's the series win percentage though?
Like go 3-1 in these 4 games?
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it a 50-50 shot.
All right.
Which is I mean, that's pretty good. I think all things considered, right?
Given the state of things.
I mean, again, you're getting the Montage start. I mean, that's not great by any means. You don't feel good about that. And I guess, I mean, we can look at the rest of the starters here, but I mean, obviously you're going to get a Clay Holmes start. Where are we? Blackburn tonight. Don't feel good about that at all. Looks like you get a Clay Holmes start tomorrow.
Oh, then Montas Wednesday.
Montas on Wednesday against
Canning.
Strider. And then Canning against the Braves is Holmes. So again, I mean, like I said, Canning can get you wins, it seems. Blackburn, seems like he's an L waiting to happen. Maybe you knock Strider around and you win a Montas start, like 12-7,
Yeah.
So like maybe that's your 3 out of 4 right there, but you don't feel great, dude. I guess a silver lining is that you have Pittsburgh and Milwaukee coming up, but even so, I mean,
The way you're playing, I mean, it's the same thing like when the Yankees have been going through it. It's like, it doesn't matter who you're
I
like,
know.
if you play like that, you're not going to beat anybody.
Exactly, dude. And I mean, not for nothing, like, the Brewers could hit. Pittsburgh, you're not seeing Skeens, so you feel good about that. But still, I mean, it's just not, you don't feel great, dude. You need a big series win here. Like 4 games. Hopefully the Phillies. I'm not sure who the Phillies play next, but hopefully after this 4-game setting, at home here, you can be in the division lead again.
The Phillies go to Houston.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an opportunity.
That is an opportunity for some L's.
What do you think about Ernie, though, talking about the despair in your voice, the Soto heating up?
My favorite part of the day, which is kind of fucked up, by the way. You
Like
can
a
hear
Michael
this-
Butka. The two of
Literally,
them,
dude,
maybe,
the 2 of them, dude.
in coherence here. Huh?
Yeah, in coherence. Despair in Tony's voice. I mean, naturally, dude, I mean, there's not going to be happiness. There's not going to be like anything that's excitable right now. I mean, you're going through it against 2 divisional opponents. I mean, this has definitely been a really tough stretch of your schedule here. And then Soto's 2 homers. He's heating up at least. Farva. Yeah, I guess. I mean, listen, if Soto heats up, that's great. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I said it when Soto was bad. Like, you're getting wins, so you're still happy. Soto heats up, you're losing. I mean, you're not going to be stoked about it,
Yeah.
So, again, we'll see what the product they're putting out there tonight. But I mean, you need your starter to give you 6 innings. Hopefully, your bullpen can put together, a good outing. I mean, again, not for nothing. It's like you got a starter, put 6 innings, maybe 7. You use Brazoban for 1 or 2. You get Diaz in the 9th. You close out a game. You feel good about a win. And then hopefully Clay Holmes could do it again tomorrow, I mean, listen, we've seen the Braves. This is, I don't even know actually how did the Braves do this weekend? I don't know. Let's check it out. Because this was the time I was saying, they dropped 2 out of 3 against Miami. That's kind of weird.
But then they're desperate. They need to win. So.
Yeah, but that's what I was kind of alluding to when they were sweeping the Mets. I was like,
Right.
this is the time that they go on their 10-game win streak and stuff like that. But not for nothing, it could have been just, Mets don't perform down in Atlanta, and now here they are. You drop 2 out of 3 against Miami. You go to Citi Field. Maybe the Mets could have your number here, sort of deal.
But because I honestly don't know, but like just whether it's home, is there a big disparity in the record versus the Braves home and away? Like I know like the in Atlanta they haven't been winning, but at home have they been winning the majority of those games the last couple of years or not?
Against the Braves? I mean, I know for a fact last year they did. I don't know how it goes like all time or anything like that. I guess we could figure it out, but I mean, you still feel pretty good. I mean, the Mets at home this year have been great. So
Yeah.
hopefully they could get something together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm talking myself into some confidence, I guess. But I mean, that confidence could be absolutely shattered come tomorrow morning. So.
Or come the 3rd inning if Blackburn gives up a granny, right? I mean, it's just he's got to be dialed in.
I mean,
from the start.
geez, dude. Yeah.
No, I mean, or Soto could hit a grand slam.
That's
right.
right. That's
I mean,
right.
who knows?
Dude. Yeah,
Who knows?
he could. He's heating up. Okay, dude.
What do we have for picks?
You had a 2-game lead actually now.
Wow.
Because you over the weekend, or I guess over Friday, I should say, went 3-3. I went the 2-4 spot. So now you're 56-64, and I am 54-66.
And I believe I'm batting leadoff, or no, or is it you?
I think you are. I think,
Okay.
I never really know. Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. We always pick the same 2 teams first anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get started here. 6-pack MLB pick segment. the beer and the bats. Things have been pretty good since then. But brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. So Yankees finally winning another series and looking to win another one here. Great American Ballpark, Cincinnati, Ohio, ESPN Power Index. The sign of disrespect, Alan Winans with that .9 ERA for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, making his Yankee debut here. Matched up against Nick Lodolo. We mentioned he's pitched pretty well, 5-5, 3.71. Total 10.5. So I guess they're expecting Winans to get popped. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. But I think he's going to give us 5 innings. I think he'll get some strikeouts, maybe not a ton of footage on these hitters, have experience facing them, like 5 innings, maybe 7 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. And I think the Yankee bats back him up. I think they're going to put up a 7 spot here in game 1 in Cincinnati and ultimately end up winning this game. Let's say 7-3. So Yankees and the under for pick number 1.
Yankees. Oh, sorry, I should write that down, huh? Yankees.
Wait, you have the over, right?
Yeah. Wait, did you pick the over, dude?
The Reds, right? You have the Reds.
The Reds and the over, dude. I will say this is probably the first time in a little while you're going with the under in the Yankees game. Ernie asked me a great question, perhaps the greatest question that Ernie's ever asked here. He says, Tony, 8 out of 9, will you finally fade the Mets? He asks.
And he's going to say...
Ernie, I didn't wear this polo today to fade the Mets. All right, dude? Give me the Mets tonight. All right? I convinced myself, the confidence, dude, the starts, the Braves losing 2 out of 3 against Miami, coming into our town, into Queens, into Citi Field. They're going to be in a little bit of trouble here tonight. Brian said it to Juan Soto, 5th inning. Give me the salami, baby. Grand slam. Puts the Mets up 4-0. They don't look back, dude. Paul Blackburn goes back into the 5th, okay? 3 runs given up. Butthole clenches. It's a 4-3 game. You're getting a little worried here. Doesn't matter, though. Lindor, baby. I'm telling you right now, I guess give me maybe the 8th inning 2-run spot off of doesn't matter, okay? But goes Oppo 412 feet, okay? Dialed in. Diaz in the 9th. 3 up, 3 down. Strikes out the side, all on the fastball. Mets go on to win. I said it before, 6-4. Be Mets in the over, baby. Let's go.
All right.
Book that, Ernie.
Number 2. Kind of interesting here. A lot of different places to go, but I'll go to San Diego. You got the Padres facing the Washington Nationals. Mitchell Parker, 4-8, 4.59. Steven Kolek for the Padres, 3-2, 3.59. And you look at the play of the teams recently. Washington just dropped 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. Well, the Padres won 2 out of 3 against the Royals. Kolek, a rookie, I've had him for fantasy, has pitched pretty well. And I think against a weak Washington team. I know James Wood can hit, but I think the Padres, they're going to start hitting more themselves. Offense has been a little weak. Tatis just had the longest stretch of his career without him run, like 100 at-bats. I'm going to say he hits 2 tonight. Kolek, 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. And I think the Padres blank the Nationals 6-0. Padres and the under.
Padres and the under. All right, next game here. I'm going to go with the team who has the longest win streak around the league right now at 4. Give me Milwaukee here tonight. They're going to be hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, dude, right now this regular season series is tied at 2. This is the second series these two teams are having against each other. I mentioned the Brewers' 4-game win streak just swept the Twins this weekend. Pirates dropped 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. Interesting pitchers here tonight, dude. Sounds like we have a couple guys out of Eastern Country Day School. Braxton Ashcraft towing the slab against
Any relation
Chad
to Graham
Patrick.
Ashcraft?
I'm actually not sure, dude. I feel like I feel like yes, maybe, right? I mean, how many
Ashcrafts.
Ashcrafts are there? Braxton Ashcraft. Is he going to tell me? Is he going to tell me related to Graham? I guess I have to say that. Ashcraft. No, I don't know. No, doesn't really see it. Parents are Karen and Tony. That's cool.
Tony.
3 other siblings, none of them related. Robinson Ashcraft, track and field, high school. That's all you get, dude. And you know what he gets? Braxton Ashcraft, he gets the fucking loss tonight, okay, dude? Because it's his second start, I think, of the season. Second start of the season here. 1.54 ERA in his first start against who? I guess I should have maybe said that before. It doesn't really matter, though. Looks like he was against Texas, actually. Got his first start. I guess he has a couple opening starts. Actually, no, he has starts. This is his first start. These are open bullpen outings, okay, dude? Give me his first start being 3 innings, 4 earned runs. Sal Frelick, batting .298. Okay, right fielder here for the Brewers. Pretty solid, all right? Gave the Mets some trouble when they played him, all right? Give me 2 homers from tonight, all right? 3 for 4 night. Brewers go on. They win this game. I mean, honestly, Chad Patrick can give up a few. I guess give me Brewers 6-4. Brewers over. Take your third game, Brian.
All right, third game, going with the Arizona Diamondbacks in Chicago, 3-game set. Diamondbacks just won 2 out of 3 in Colorado, while the White Sox actually won 2 out of 3 in Toronto.
Okay.
And you have a pitching matchup here of Eduardo Rodriguez, who struggled 2-4, 5.93. Shane Smith for the White Sox, 3-4, 2.85. Don't care. I think the Diamondbacks, Suarez, Ernie, not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs after hitting 4 in a game earlier this year. I think it's a bloodbath. I picked up Rodriguez at the start for fantasy. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs. I think it's a laugher. Diamondbacks 12-3 over the White Sox. Diamondbacks and the over. You were gonna take that one?
I mean, yeah, obviously you're always looking at that, you know, when you see the White Sox playing. But, I mean, tough pick'ems here. I mean, Seattle, Minnesota.
Walker Buehler and his 5.95 ERA.
I almost kind of want to take him against the Angels, to be honest.
Be
but
careful.
I know, dude. But it's like the Cardinals against the Cubs. Do you have a lot of confidence in the Cubs right now? I don't really know. But I guess we'll head to St. Louis anyway, I guess. I mean, I feel like the Cubs are due for dropping 3 of the last 5. Lost the series against the Brewers. Lost the series against Seattle back-to-back. Cardinals winning 4 of their last 5. Just dropped the game to Cincinnati before heading back home here. First time they're playing the Cubs. I guess give me the Cubs. Ben Brown. Matthew Liberatore, you know, pitching for the Cards. They both get popped, I guess. Pete Crow Armstrong, go-ahead homer in the 9th. Puts them up 5-4. Cubs in the over.
And just like that, 6-pack MLB pick segment, Hirsch Law Firm. And obviously, just hoping for some wins tonight, right, Tony?
Yeah, dude. Hoping for some wins is an understatement, dude.
Paul Blackburn, you never know. He's due for a career outing, right?
I would say he's due. Yeah. They're definitely due. Last couple of outings has been, you know, less than satisfactory.
Or superior. Have been
Superior.
subpar. Have been subpar. How about that?
Lake Superior.
Did we get comments?
We got some comments, dude. You want some comments?
You seem like you're tight about them.
No. I'm never tight about the comments, dude. Jesus, a glutton. He is picking Blackburn. You never know, dude. We just say do. He also says, give me the salami is diabolical. We need that on the soundboard immediately, he says LMAO. That could be arranged, which I mean really isn't really that absurd, by the way, to hear. If you're grew up Italian, give me the salami. Like,
why not?
Right?
And you know, or if you said give me the grid. Right?
Give me the grid, dude. I'm gonna give you the grid. That's exactly what's going to happen here.
No back channels needed today.
No back channels here. Okay, this is serious. All right, Yankees in the column should be an absolute shoo-in, dude. Chrome tab. There we go. Immaculate grid. Bang. View this tab in StreamYard. bring it in here. We'll there. And we're going to be a little music, dude.
All right.
Ernie appreciating the segue, he says.
There we go. And I'm appreciating a former a Hall of Famer, but former Yankee for Nationals Yankees, Pudge Rodriguez.
Ivan. 2%, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Slightly higher, but I guess everybody forgets that he was on there.
I thought it would be a lot higher, dude.
But let's see. All right. What else?
Joey Gallo, Nationals Twins.
Joey
okay.
Gallo, Nationals Twins. All right.
That's a good one. I like that one. Joey Gallo, Gallo, 5%.
Okay.
With the death stare.
What do you think is the deal with his eyes? Just some people just have crazy eyes. I mean, is that
Yeah, I think so, dude.
the gist of it?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, no, I think maybe it's just crazy eyes. I don't think he's all coked up. He doesn't seem like a drugs guy.
Played outfield one game for the Giants. Mike Tauchman.
Mike Tauchman. Okay, that's fine. I guess.
T-A-U.
Oh, T-A-U.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. 0.9.
That was on
dude.
purpose.
There we
definitely.
go. There we go.
And how about, I feel like no one's thinking about this, for the Yankees, go Andrew McCutcheon, outfield.
Andrew.
I don't know. I feel like Billy McKinney or Jake Bowers might be less. Or like Everson Pereira.
Billy McKinney. Or do Everson Pereira, actually. Do Everson Pereira.
0.1, dude. There we go. You think Harrison Bader would be a lot for Minnesota outfield?
No. Do Bader. That's fine.
Bader. Harrison. 2%, dude. All right. Hold your breath here. Yankees 200 hits.
I mean, there's so many that have done it. I'm trying to think.
What about Cano did it, right? Cano did it in back-to-back seasons, I'm pretty sure, actually.
Yeah.
I would
guess,
imagine,
right?
right?
All the
I mean,
legends
who
go
else?
Cano? Instead of Jeter, obviously.
Mickey Mantle.
I don't know if O'Neal or Williams did it. I mean, they hit over 300, so usually you're
Bernie?
But go Cano.
Robinson Cano. 3%.
Okay, not too shabby.
I know that Gary Carter played for the Nationals and the Giants, but he'd be a lot because
Yeah,
he
I'm
was.
trying to think.
I think he was on the Giants for like a lot of years.
Matt Williams, you think he's a lot?
I wouldn't think so.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Because I'm just trying to think about who else played for both teams. And I don't know. Edwin Jackson didn't pitch for the Giants, right? Or did he?
Don't think so.
I know. I don't know. I'm just thinking Matt Williams just because not everybody's thinking Expos, but
Oh, that's true.
yeah, I guess it's both.
Matt Williams.
No. How did? What? Maybe he was he was a coach for the Giants. I don't know why I would think he was on the Giants.
Let's see. This is his.
Or was he not on the X? No, he wasn't on the Expos.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't on the Expos, so he was a coach for the Nationals. That's what it is. Why did I think he was on? Wait, but no. Wait. Go up.
Cleveland, Arizona, San Francisco.
Why did I think he was on Montreal? I don't know.
Maybe he. Matt Williams.
No, it's because he managed.
Yeah, he managed the Nationals.
That's a bunch. That's honestly worthy of the back channels, Tony.
Yeah, you want to go back channels?
Yeah.
All right,
Ernie
dudes.
in despair.
Ernie is definitely in despair.
So we know Pudge.
Ivan. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
We know
Ivan.
Everson next to him.
Everson Pereira. We did
We know
Cano.
Cano.
We know Cano. We know Bader of the Harrison variety. Would you do for San Francisco?
Talkman, middle.
Talkman, middle.
Middle, right.
Talkman.
And then Joey Gallo.
Joey
Twins,
Gallo.
Nationals.
And then, so, I mean, do you just want to go with Gary Carter then at that point? I mean, I don't.
Just trying to think about this for a second.
Also, Twins 200 hits. Like, who the fuck has that?
Yeah.
Like Rod Carew is their guy,
Paul
right?
Molitor, too.
For Twins?
Yeah, I would think Joe Mauer maybe. But Molitor definitely, because he had all those hits. But I don't know if that'll be high.
I mean, I don't know who. I don't know who else would do it. I mean, we can wait on him for a little bit.
I guess, right? This Giants.
Oh, Giants, Nationals. I mean, again, other than Gary Carter, I don't. Who else has been obvious? Like, is there someone obvious we haven't been thinking of?
Did Josh Bell ever play for the Giants? I know he's been around.
I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't.
Bart?
Soler didn't play for Washington, right?
No.
Braves.
Bart didn't play for the Giants.
Bart?
Yeah. Did he?
Oh,
Bartolo
Bartolo.
Colon.
No.
He played for the Nationals, obviously.
And Reggie Sanders? No. What about? Oh, Alou. Moises Alou.
Moises. Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
7%.
All right.
Not bad.
So we get 200. I mean,
200 hits is tough.
Oh, Luis
I mean,
Ariz.
Luis Ariz?
Yeah.
He did have 200 hits?
Yep.
All right. For Giants?
No.
Twins.
For the Twins. How?
All right.
How does Ariz hit 350 and not have 200 hits? What do you have? 199, Tony?
I took it up.
You could always just.
There are no more back channels, dude.
Let's see. What was it? What the? How did he win the batting title and have 173 hits? That's a bunch of nonsense, honestly. That shouldn't even count. Wait, what was the one thing left, just so we know?
Giants 200 hits.
Giants 200 hits.
Okay, so was there anybody that we were gonna do? Or
no, I mean I didn't think of anyone.
Kent? I don't know.
Crawford.
Jeff?
I don't think Crawford.
I don't think Posey ever did.
Try Kent. He probably didn't get it though, honestly.
Jeff Kent.
Nope. Oh, he didn't. All right. You know what? I was just thinking we could just do a grid from over the weekend, just to
we
end
can.
up winning no back channels. We'll get it. It's fine.
Willie Mays.
Bad job.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's all right. Can't win them all here. Let me get out of the back channels. Let me get back in here. Reshare. And where was Ernie on that one?
Yeah, right.
Anything? Oh no, he just commented probably something like, "Hey guys, you suck."
Nah,
Jesus Barnes.
All right, we'll make up for this time. We're gonna go right through on grid. I would guess 8-12.
Yesterday's grid.
Yeah.
Previous grids. Let's see it, dude. Play now.
The MVP in the war.
Oh
and
no, dude.
The way these, or do you want to check the other one? Check the one the day before.
Of course, the one with the Mets has got to have like a fucking yay.
This is probably easier though, no?
I guess so. It
So
is.
this is
It is
8,
definitely
11?
easier, dude. Yeah, this is.
I
8.
have to like put it on my phone because of the cameras.
Oh yes, this is 8-11 here. So we have All-Star 2000 career 2000 career strikeouts, All-Star 30+ save season, All-Star sub-3 ERA season, and then born outside the U.S.
All right.
10 win. It's all pitching, dude. What the hell was
you want to do Sabathia for All-Star 2000 Ks?
Yeah. 3%.
30 save season.
All-Star.
Let's just think about this for a
Yeah,
second.
let's not jump the gun here. 'Cause you could do Diaz.
I mean, you could do K-Rod.
Did David Robertson ever have a 30 save season?
It's a good guess.
Look, I think, but like just in case. You could do Kenley Jansen. Do Jansen.
Yeah, I will do Jansen. 2%.
Okay. Under 3 for a season and an all-star. You know what's annoying? I don't know if Oliver Perez made the all-star team that one year. That would have just been like an ultimate, and everybody's thinking of him. But we could just do somebody that we know, even Tariq Skubal, right?
Yeah.
2%,
dude.
All right, and then let's
Born
see.
outside.
2,000 Ks.
Pedro,
Yeah.
think that'd be too much?
43%. I would say that's too much. Let's see. So 30 saves
Born outside.
on the outside. Hold on.
On the outside, he says.
Where was that?
Oh,
when
I got
Diaz
it.
Born?
Kaz,
not America.
Kaz Sasaki.
Kaz. Here
Yeah.
we go. Yeah. 2%. That was a good one, dude. Let's go.
Under 3 for the season.
Don't remember how to pronounce his name. Valenzuela.
Or Darvish.
You Darvish?
Yeah.
You Darvish is a good one, I feel. 1%. 10-win season, 2,000 Ks, career. Clemens.
Schmaltz. Johnny B.
John Smoltz. 1%. 30 save season plus 10 wins.
Oh, actually, fuck that, because that probably would be the common one. But so, I mean, I don't know. Eckersley? What was that?
29.
I think that's a tough one where there's not a lot of them.
Yeah, there is.
All right, and then the 10-win season with the under
the
3.
3 ERA.
Do Oliver Perez.
Zach Wheel. Okay. Oliver Perez. 0.07 for that one.
And the 83. But listen, we still got through it. Better days
did,
ahead
dude.
tomorrow, right?
That's right. Better days
the
ahead
Mets
tomorrow, dude. That's right,
well.
dude.
And then, wow, I'm really getting called out here. The reset, the mulligan.
Dude. Barnes destroying grids, Josh B says. Wow.
Hey, everybody
dude.
has an off day, right?
It happens, dude.
Yep.
It's Monday, dude. The cobwebs, you know.
Yeah.
Wasted my Everson Pereira pull.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I have to say, I should have thought of something like that.
right, dude.
But I know, we're not big on the basketball here, but obviously the Thunder champions, Halliburton, the ACL, Durant, the trade. I mean, any thoughts here? Congrats to the Thunder, right? First championship franchise history.
Yes, dude. Congrats to the Thunder. It's kind of funny to see that like Durant's getting traded while the Thunder's winning the finals. I don't know. It's just like almost somewhat
His PR
poetic,
people.
dude.
He was at Fanatics when it happened.
Yeah.
Patty was at Fanatics.
I saw, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's obviously. I mean, I guess I don't know. Damn, who's the guy that Phoenix got?
Jalen
Jalen
Green.
Green. I mean,
10th overall pick as
good
well.
young player,
Dylan Brooks,
you know?
5 second-round picks.
and not for nothing, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like the whole Durant craze. It's like the guy who wins championships.
yeah, like
where
I
it
don't
goes,
think
like-
he's gonna win with Houston.
I don't
Like,
think he
they'll be a
would,
good
dude.
team, but like,
Sure.
I don't think
I mean,
I think it depends on what Houston does. I mean,
Yeah.
Houston has the assets.
Sagoon is really good. I know Tony's a big Sagoon guy.
I love Sagoon, dude.
Yeah.
This morning I
Um,
saw what if they just trade for Giannis? Because they say they didn't trade a bunch of first rounders for
Houston?
KD. So
Yeah.
what if they just trade for Giannis on
And
top
give up
of it?
Sagoon.
Kind of crazy. See, but I mean, they definitely need to make a move like that. I
Do you
feel
think-
if they want to be in
I
contention.
think they could
dude. I
win
mean,
if that was the case, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a totally different ball game, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess to go back to the finals here. Yes, good for OKC. Shy, dude, killing it. Definitely, you feel really bad for Halliburton.
And how does this always happen?
I mean-
in the playoffs, there's always these ACL injuries, Achilles injuries late in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's a long season.
long season. Just like with KD too, and they both stemmed from the calf injury, and then
Right.
the player says, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, you don't blame the player. It's Game 7 of the finals. Like you know, like he said it. Like Halliburton said it. Like if I don't try, I'm gonna regret that decision forever. Like no matter the outcome, you know. So it's like you know, a player needs to do that. Obviously, you don't wish worst case scenario, but that's exactly that. And oh my god, dude, because I remember watching it live. We were watching it live here, and then I watched it back last night too. It's just a sad moment, dude, because he knew second he went down.
Everybody on Twitter knew.
Everybody on Twitter knew he was crying and agony. The agonizing pain telling your Achilles, can't even imagine. And then you just see him mouthing the words, "It happened. It happened." Oh God, it's gut wrenching, dude. Especially because what he like did he have like 9 points in 7 minutes or something, or
Yeah.
7 points in 5 minutes or whatever it was?
Yeah, he had 3 threes.
Obviously looked like he was gonna have a game, and make it a game. And then you had fucking what's his name, CJ McConnell? No, what's his name?
TJ
McConnell having a game.
This is a game.
picking up some slack, dude. And you think to yourself, wow, like wouldn't it have been crazy?
This is a game.
It would have been way more of a game if Halliburton was still in the game,
Right.
playing his game, and then you had McConnell. It's tough, dude. You think of what could have been for the Pacers if Halliburton remained healthy. Didn't happen that way though. OKC took care of business. And it was a good game, I guess. I mean, kind of for me, seemed like once Halliburton was injured, I was like,
I mean,
all right, dude.
the
I mean,
kiss of
it
death.
stayed competitive up until like the third quarter.
Yeah, I guess so. I just feel like,
Yeah, there was no energy from the Pacers.
no energy from the Pacers. And I just feel like, too, like many of the other games that OKC won, it's like they had like a 9-point lead and kind of maintained that.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, like OKC was always, again, like 9 points is almost nothing. You could that'll be gone in 2 minutes if a team can go on a run. But it just never felt like Indiana could do that. So, I don't know. For me, it just seemed like it was a game that was kind of blocked up for OKC. But obviously, congrats to them. Hartenstein.
And I saw something too. I guess like in the past 5 years, the NBA has had 0 top 100 rated rating slots on TV, and everyone was asking like, "Oh, will this break the streak?" But I don't think so, honestly. Even though it was a game 7, I just think when you have those weak markets, you're just not going to get the numbers. So I think, once those are released, I think it's still going to be bad. And obviously, next year, I'm sure the league is hoping for something like, the Knicks and the Lakers or the Celtics and the Lakers. But who knows if that'll happen? Right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem likely right now.
I mean, maybe Lakers, but I don't know about the Celtics with the Tatum injury. It seems like that
and
kind of
Knicks with like
with
uncertainty.
No head coach.
Yeah,
Like, are
like,
you
what
coaching
the-
the team, Tony?
I would, dude. I would take that job right now, dude.
right now.
Right now, dude. You'll see me in a different orange and blue polo tomorrow.
So yeah, I mean, I think as always, like the most interesting part of the NBA season is the offseason. That's what is coming up. That's where all the drama is.
Draft coming up soon, right?
So
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Ace Bailey out of Rutgers is refusing to do interviews.
I did
Hasn't
see
worked
that.
out with the team.
Why is that?
People think that his agent was the dad of someone who was like wanted to charge people to do interviews. Other people think he just doesn't want to go to the Sixers because he was projected to be the 3rd pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's hoping to go on a team like the Nets, the Wizards, the Jazz, where like he'll be the star, he'll get the max
Okay.
early,
Gotcha.
something like that. He's just trying to tank his draft stock so that because top heavy teams are the first 3 picks, he wants to be somewhere he can shine, he can be the star, he can get good money.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. I saw Dylan Harper. I think it was yesterday. Was it the Yankee game?
Yeah, he threw out the first pitch
Another
yesterday.
Rutgers guy.
Is he supposed to be like the 2nd pick?
I don't know if second, but like top
Top
pick.
5 or yeah.
Oh, he's from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey.
There
yeah.
you go.
Look at that, dude.
He threw out the first pitch yesterday morning.
Mock draft projections have him going number 2 overall to San Antonio.
Wow, that would be something.
So there we go.
And I think I forgot to ask this. I'm always in favor of this stuff. What did you think of the 11:35 start? You like it?
I don't like it just because it's inconsistent. Just because like NBC did Sunday morning baseball, and then MLB couldn't get anyone to buy it, so Roku did.
Yeah.
And like it's one game a month. Like there's no way Roku is making enough money.
Wait, but
off
it's
of
not.
it.
It's not one game a week. It's one game a month.
Yeah, I feel like there's never Sunday morning baseball games. There's
Oh.
like so inconsistent.
Well,
with them.
my old thought was just like in terms of like going to the game. Like I feel like it's nice. Like okay, it's 2:30 of the rest of the day.
Yeah, going was nice. I mean, we got
No
there, like,
burrito.
12:05
No,
game
Wells
on Sunday.
Favorito.
So I guess they have like
You gotta like
early start.
message him on his burrito account and be like, "Yo, man, like, what the hell,
the
dude?
Yankees stopped serving your burrito.
Like, I went
No,
to
and
the
then-
game
Yeah,
for
so
your
it-
burrito.
It is every week.
Maybe he'll
But
send
for
you
some
one.
reason they have a 12:05 next week, but then the following week is back to 11.
Yeah.
Play ball.
burrito.
But I mean,
Oma
did it-
burrito.
and I mean, it seemed like it was. I didn't check the attendance numbers, but I mean, Pretty packed house, or
Yeah, it definitely was. Especially, we got there like right when the rain ended. So after it had been like 5-10 minutes of no rain, stadium filled up fast.
yeah.
Lot of large groups.
Okay.
From what I was seeing.
Yeah.
45,000 and change in attendance.
What do you think about the early start, Tony?
I can see what you're saying with the inconsistency, but I think for someone like me going to the game,
started at 9.
like what the fuck, dude? Yeah, like I would love that, dude. Wake up, Bloody Mary, train, beers at the stadium. Billy's is open, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
come on, dude. Like,
What are we talking
like
about?
what are we talking about? Is right. Fireball shots.
Yeah.
Walking into the stadium.
The drinking.
They're drinking in the morning, and then what?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You're back home by 3:30.
I feel like there's been so many like just events with like the eating, the drinking, and obviously this weekend, then 4th of July. But then I swear after that, it's like I just want to like pull like a mat, nothing till dinner.
Nothing till dinner, dude.
After that, because right, I mean it's just piling up, Tony.
I can go for a nice egg sandwich right now, dude.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, we do our best, right?
Yeah, no, we're doing our best, dude. We're doing all right, dude.
But yeah, I just wanted to see. I think is there any more?
Ernie, more people have Roku than Apple TV. That's a fact.
Yeah, well, and it's free, so why not?
Josh Beal says, fun fact, all 3 players that tore their Achilles this playoffs wore the number 0.
Houston completed the OKC Ring of Fire. Harden, Westbrook, Durant, and Live Grid on Friday will kick, which is interesting.
It will, dude. It
Yeah.
will be fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah, so pumped for that, for sure.
Yeah, we got to figure out. I'm going to make an equipment list today, dude. Figure out the logistics,
The
of the
XLRs.
cabana, dude. The
Yes.
setup. Yes, the XLRs, Brian.
So let's go. Pumped
No,
for
yeah,
that.
I'm pumped, dude. Like, this is going to be sick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go. Like, I
This
can't
is
wait.
the kickoff
Like-
of an outstanding week. It's going to get better and better every day. But yeah,
Fucking better, dude.
great show today.
Phenomenal show.
Really, really appreciate everybody who tuned in.
Feeling pretty good.
And continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All the archives YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay, and costume
That's
merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees!
Let's go, Mets.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.